Hi everybody. Welcome to Cozytravelers. My name is Jasmine. But y'all could call me Jazz. This is my first ever YouTube video, which is kind of exciting. But I kind of wanted to just give a brief reason as to why I wanted to do these videos. And that's mostly because I love watching people's breakdowns of what their hauls or their setups, ink swatching, pretty much all the good journaling stuff. And I was like, why not try it? And so I was like, hey, the year's almost up, and what better way to start than kind of doing what my lineup is. So first up here we have my main driver for the year, which is my daily journal. And actually, you're going to see here that all my planners for 2025 are going to be Hobonichi, which I had taken a break from the weeks for a while. The last one I had used was the 2022 one, the tiger one, because I love tigers. So this is the last time I used the weeks, and I loved it. But I did want to try different type of planners and setups for 2023 and this year, that being the Midori and also the 6-ring binder that I just kind of bought at Daiso or something. It was online. I don't really remember. But it was just a regular 6-ring binder, and it worked well. I enjoyed both. But something about the Hobonichi layout for the weeks is just kind of like itches a point in my brain that I just love. So next year I'm going back to it. But for what I've been using for the past going on 5 years is the Hobonichi Avec in the A6 size. Right now this is pretty much filled up until November, and pretty soon we're going to start in December, which I'm so excited about. But this I use every day. If I'm behind a few days, I back journal, but I typically never miss a day on this. And that's how it's been for the past 4 years. So I love the setup. And right now I actually have it with the Shinsuke picnic cover, which is this really adorable kind of like scene where like all these families and friends and everybody's just kind of outside, which is adorable. So that's what I've been using for this year, and that's going to continue on for 2025. And that is this bad boy here. I've already pretty much set it up, except for the tabs, which a lot of stuff is going to be moving over from my planner now, which is like the stencils and some washi tape cards. But that's pretty much going to go in here. And yep, I got my JJK spread. And pretty much that is going to be what I use for 2025 for my everyday kind of creative memory keeping journal. So as I mentioned, I am going to be using the weeks again for 2025, but not only am I using one, I'm actually going to be using 2 of them, and I'm actually going to go briefly over what that other one is going to be and why I'm using it. So let me just move this one out. So for this one, I really wanted to use it because it is the 70th anniversary Godzilla cover from the Godzilla site, their collab with Hobonichi, and it's such a pretty gold foiled book, and the inside has like the history of it. I have my stencil here, and I couldn't not use it, especially because I actually technically have 3 weeks that I bought this year for next year, and one of them is just going to probably be the same thing of what I'm going to use this for this year. And that is for on the left hand side, a doodle a day, and on the right hand side is going to be a media tracker. And that's going to be laid out basically with a little movie poster printed out on my portable printer with the title, where we watched it, blurb of the movie, and that's going to kind of just be a running thing, correlating with the date on the left. So that's going to be really fun to just kind of have something to flip through. And of course, if there's days I watch a movie and a show, I wanted to keep somewhere that I could track the shows on the back. And I didn't really have any idea for this. This could have been just more doodling stuff, but I think that's what I'm going to use it for, is keeping track of the shows the same way that I'm doing the movies here. And the pencil board I'm using for this is the Koji Loft exclusive one. I thought it was just so cute that it kind of looks like the what they use to write scripts in Japan. And it has like the little characters on the back. It's super cute. That's there. And I actually got the same version, but the stencil for Koji Koji. And it has like the little face and the characters. And that actually slots in perfectly right there. The pen. So this I got off the Suragaya site, which is a Japanese secondhand store website that does ship to the States. And they had a few that I had my eye on, and one of them was this Platinum JJK exclusive collab. And this one has one of my favorite characters' name on it, which is Yuji. And it's just a basic pen. Right now I have it inked up with the Platinum Carbon Black, which is going to be perfect for this doodle book, because I want to be able to make sure that it's waterproof, so that in case I ever want to color any of those doodles, I won't have any issue. So that's what this one's going to be for. And then this one is going to be for my everyday carry. Right now I have it with the Hobonichi pencil case, and quickly just show you what I have with it. I have the Jetstream Kirby collabed pen, one of the Muji line non-smear highlighters in green, two of the Sanrio mild liner collabed pens. But what I did, because I wasn't a huge fan of the colors that came with it, is I actually took the bodies apart, took the caps off, took the refills in, and swapped it to two colors that I really enjoy, which is this more golden color and this coral pink. So those are not the original colors that came with these, but it's the ones that I liked. And then lastly, a Stabilo blue fine liner. So the weeks that I have for my everyday carry is in the Porter's, I forget what it was called, but it's the kind of like nylon with the clear pocket in the front. And the reason I wanted this instead of a regular, because I actually do have a Moterm cover, I just didn't like that I couldn't, even with this one I can't 100% see it, but I didn't like that I couldn't see the cover at all. Whereas this one I could see peaks of the cover. And I'll actually take it out for a second just to show you what it looks like. I have the clear cover on there too. But it is the 2025 Kanahe cover, which is this really adorable character. And this one was only exclusive to the site. So I had to order this right away, otherwise I'm pretty sure it sold out within an hour or so of it releasing. And that was like early August. But it's so adorable. It's got the illustrations on the inside. It's got the illustrations there. And this is just going to be my everyday life, appointments, all that good stuff. The quick accessories I kind of have in here are in the front cover. I do have stencils, stickers. I have the really cute Keiko Shibata dog in the wind pencil board. I have this that I got with the Tiger Weeks, and it's just kind of a clear cellophane thing that I've kind of just decorated and use it to slot, because on the back I do keep track of my budgeting. That's one of the things I'm going to be using those pages in the back for. I don't know what I'm going to use the other half for, but I'm definitely going to do it for tracking. And then in the very back pockets, which are these cute little 2 ones, I put my post-it notes. I have another really cute, this actually came with the weeks. This is the Kanahe stencil. It's super cute. It has the faces of the two, like the bunny and the little character, and there's different emotions that you could put within that kind of setup. But that's tucked back here, and that is my setup for my everyday carry weeks. The final one I have in my lineup is the ink book that I'm going to be using for 2025. And the reason I have the Hone instead is because the setup that I used for this one, which was a blank A6 Hobonichi Keiko Shibata cover, this is technically the size of a a VEC or day free, which is half the size of the normal one. And I had it set up into 3 separate sections, which realistically should have been 4, but I'll go into that in this one. And that one was basically having one list of the rolling inked pens and what ink they are. So that kind of went like that. And then what started as just jotting down when I uninked something and if I liked it, along with this little key I made, which showed like if I didn't like it, it was okay, a perfect match, ended up being more of a review section, which I'm not mad about. I think it actually works out a lot better to reflect on why something worked out for me and why it didn't. And that kind of is just a really fun running list. And what I would do towards the end of it is just kind of jot down like the ones that I absolutely were like, this is the perfect combination, definitely want to use it again. And that's kind of how that worked out. And that kept going pretty much until fall. And then the next section was just kind of a fun area where I would put down like what I'm inking for the seasons, which this also, funny enough, kind of transformed. Before it was just kind of like big circle blobs, and it kind of ended up transforming into kind of something with a cover on it, and then using this really cute stencil that I actually got from Jet Pens. I don't remember the name of them, but they're this really cute bird on the ink bottle and a cat with the pen. And so this just kind of running list, and then what I would do at the end of the season is because I would start off with 12, if there was any inks that I felt like I wanted to swap a month and a half into the season, I would kind of just jot those down here and kind of show an overall of what I've used for the season. Because typically I don't ink my pens for the month. Most of the time I don't feel like I'm using a pen really well, especially if I have 12 inked a month. I feel like it's not enough time for me to really see if I really liked the combination, so I use it for the season, meaning 3 months. But if there's a combination that I absolutely was like, I want to try that out, I'm not going to stop myself. So I'll either ink up a new pen or I'll just swap something out for something either comparable or just add it in. So that I pretty much, the other thing I would use, it was keeping track of my new pens. So anytime I would get a new pen, I would just kind of either doodle it in, or let me see if there's another one in here. Pretty sure there was one towards, yeah. So I would write the date, the pen. I would always draw like a little doodle of it and kind of write with it just to kind of get my first impressions out. And this book was pretty much used to the very end. So having in mind that the blank book got filled just from starting in May, had me wanting to figure out what kind of structure would work for my ink journal this coming year. And for some reason, I really wanted to use the cat hone from 2024. It's freaking adorable with the little cats on it. Just because of the cover. But then as I was thinking more about it, I was like, wait, the structure of this might actually work really well for what I want to do for this. And what I mean by that is, in the front, there's the month at a glance. And this section, because this book is older, the dates are not going to correspond for 2025, but that's actually fine for me, because what I really wanted to use it is the fact that this, let me take this out for a second, this section's already divided for each month. So what I'm thinking of doing is, for 6 sections, I'm going to use it for 2025, and the other 6, I'm going to use it for 2026. And that's going to be easily kind of flipped to, because I'm going to have everything laid out here, basing it on the page, or technically the date that it happened on. So on the January section, I have that as my running inks list. And so that's kind of laid out like this. And so because I have 3 already, I already started inking my winter stuff. Because I have 3 here, that 3 corresponds to the 1st, because it's January 1st here. Same thing happens for the 2nd and the 3rd, corresponding to that. For the February spreads, the reason I actually made it 2 is because typically a review I do will take up either a pen to a page or at most 2 pens to a page, so I wanted to have enough space to put down when those pens were reviewed. And then for section 3, that's going to be for the seasonal inks, which used to just be part of the running, like I said, like the running list of stuff I was doing. Like, it was just all mixed in. This will have its own section, and because I don't want to be redundant with putting the ink swatch colors, I'm just going to put a really cute washi tape that is either winter themed, spring, summer, all that, and just kind of space that out. And that'll be those 2 sections. The last 2 months, and I'm going back and forth between months and sections because that's how my brain is separating them. But in the last 2 months, I have that as just kind of like the fun ink directory where I'm going to be putting new inks, new pens, swatching stuff that I'm finishing up. And as you can see, I'm already starting to put stuff back there. So we'll flip to that quickly. So I have the Cocoa Shimmer that I've used all up, a sample of for my pen for winter. Just a fun jot down of all the stuff I used for fall, because the fall book is technically in the previous one, so nothing in here has what I had lined up for fall, unless I refer back to it, but sometimes I just want to quickly just look at what I did. New pen day, which this is one of 3 coming in hopefully within the next few weeks. So that's why I left that blank. Some future pen show stuff, and then just kind of fun little swatches. But yeah, so that ends up being all the way up until July, which then July will then be the start of 2026 for me. But this is so cute. The only concern, I'm going to be pretty honest about that, is that I don't know how big this is going to get because of the stuff that I'm going to be adding to it. Oh, just put this here. Because this one got pretty chunky for just being half the year, and this is already pretty chunky to begin with. So let's see how big that ends up being by the end of that year. But yeah, so that ends up being the final one I'm going to talk about, because the 5th one that I'm using to journal for next year is my 5-year journal, which I'm not going to really flip through. It's just the typical Midori 5-year. So that's what that one's going to be. And so let me just bring everything back in to frame. But yeah, that's pretty much my whole lineup for next year. I'm very excited. Again, like I said, this is the first time I'm using this one. And so we'll see how that turns out. I'll probably do a check-in to see if that's actually happening. But I really do hope that it does. But that's basically it. I'm super curious, if you've watched the whole video, what your lineup is for next year and how you're feeling about it. Because right now I'm pretty confident, but we'll see when I do a mid-year check-in to see how everything's going along. But thank you guys so much for watching the whole video. Like I said, this is my first one, so I'm really excited about it. And I'm hoping to do more. I want to do ones like going through my 1-year anniversary of pens, because I only got into fountain pens last November, and within that year I have about 50 pens. It's pretty crazy, but I'd love to kind of go through those and kind of just the order at which I got them. There's also stuff I'm having for the winter, like I said, that's actually already, you saw kind of like some sneak peeks in here. Stuff like that. My process on how I do other layouts. Like, I totally would love any suggestion you guys have for like future videos for me to do. I would really appreciate it. But again, thank you for everything, and I'll see you next time.